What's up? So today I thought I'd do something a little bit different, and I want to show you my process for making beats. So I'm a very traditional hip-hop beat maker. And I say traditional meaning I sample records, chop those samples up, put some drums, make a bass line, throw some piano keys on top of it to make my beats. That's why hip-hop was started, and that's kind of what I love about hip-hop, just taking snippets of other things to make it your own. So that's the way I always made beats. I kind of want to show you guys the behind the scenes of how I do that, from the record, picking what part I want, to making the beat. So that's what this episode's going to be about. Peace. Okay, so the first thing I do when I'm making the beat is to pick what record I'm going to sample from. So for me, that's usually some type of jazz record or something soul funk, like in that range. So first thing we're going to do. So today I already know what I'm going to use. I'm going to be using this Sade record. Promise is the album, and we're going to pick one of the songs to sample from to make a beat. So probably the hardest part of this whole process is picking what song you want to sample from, and it can really go any direction. Sometimes I try to get piano or drum breaks or just open bass lines, but just usually I try to search for something that's going to catch my ear, that I know that I can either loop or chop up to make a beat. So let's listen to some things, and hopefully something will stick out here. Okay, so I like that part. I've already made this beat, so I kind of knew what I was getting, but that's the part I'm going to sample. So I was going to start it at the beginning of the sample, which is right there. So you can hear the beginning of it right there. So we can come over to the computer. Okay, so I already recorded it into the computer, and now I can just play it back on one of the pads right here. So that's the sample. It goes on for longer, but I don't want Facebook or YouTube to flag the video for the song, so I can only play a little bit of it. So once you get that sample into the device you're using, which I'm using Machine for today, you can chop that up. And on Machine, to chop it up, we're just going to hit slice. We're going to make sure the mode is set to split and the slices are set to 16. So basically that'll spread out the sample into 16 slices that are all the same size. So let me zoom out some. So now each slice of the sample is spread out to each pad, 16 pads. So now we have 16 bits of sound from that sample. Okay, so once you have those samples split over those 16 pads, for me this is the fun part. This is the part where you try to take that sample and kind of mix up those samples to make something of your own. I'll show you. I'll try to show you. Okay, so once you kind of get a pattern that you like, you record it. So a machine that's shift and record. And now it's recorded. So the next step after that, I usually try to lay some drums underneath it. So in Machine, I have a bunch of drum kits that I've collected over the years, and I kind of just put it together into different templates, and you have all your sounds right there. So what I usually do at this point is just play the sample that I chopped up in the background over and over while I'm trying to think of different drum patterns. So after I figure out something, then I'll actually record it. So something like that. Now, usually after I have the sample chopped, the drums going, I usually try to do a bass line. For me, that's the hardest part of it. I did play musical instruments growing up, but like I just don't remember all my scales and notes and all major, minor chords, all that kind of stuff. So for me, I kind of just play around with different notes until I have something that's that sounds right and fits with the beat. So after messing around for a little bit, this is what I came up with. And then this is going to be everything put together. So yeah, that's pretty much the basic structure of how I make a beat. Now, after I do that, that's kind of like the core beat that I'll make. I'll try to do switch ups and change ups, like dropping the bass line out, or dropping a kick or a snare or a hi-hat out, switching up the samples for the chorus, just things to make the beat, different over the 3-4 minutes that it's going to be playing, or the rapper is going to be rapping or singing on top of it, to make it interesting. But that's the core beat. So hopefully you guys learned something, and hopefully, I explained it good and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, that's how I make a beat. Peace.